Hey, this is Matt. Once again, what about the video is the paid request this time for Edward. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, what have you, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. I also do have a second YouTube channel in case anything happens. I would just do stuff on that second channel. That link is down below. Feel free to subscribe to that channel. I also do have an Odysee channel. A lot of these videos are being backed up onto that channel on that website. So that has a lot of the older videos. Again, you just send a request for pretty much anything. Links are down below in the info box for those interested. But Edward wanted me to talk about South Park Season 13, Episodes 11 and 12. Which is funny, there was another person that had requested one or two episodes of the new season. I took a look at the new season. I have that review up, and I'm like, man, this is just so different, and the voices are different, and there's so much more deeper, and the humor is just not there, and very lame. And then you watch this, and it's like, okay, well, the humor, like, the voices, because it's, over 10 years younger of an episode. Much more of the creative juice is flowing. Like episode 11, it's about, I never saw this show, Whale Wars, but it's a take on that. And the Japanese hate dolphins and whales, and everywhere they go. Like Stan's with his family at the aquarium, enjoying the dolphins, and the Japanese come in and just stab the crap out of them. They even stabbed the Miami Dolphins, the football team. And, of course, people wondering, why are they doing this? What's going on? So it's a knock on the Japanese whaling and what's going on with them. It's also a knock on Whale Wars, because apparently the way the creators they kind of run this into the ground over and over again, a bit too much, laying it on thick, saying how the guy who did Whale Wars, he's a liar, and they really lay into it. He's a liar, he's this and that, he makes stuff up. I mean, okay, I get the idea, but when you repeat that like 3-4 more times, it's like, I did it, dude. You guys don't like the lead guy for Whale Wars, the TV show. I did it, okay? It seems like you were laying more onto him than the Japanese whalers. So I thought that was kind of strange. But my favorite bit actually didn't have to do with the main plot. It was Cartman, Kyle, and Kenny doing Rock Band, and Cartman singing Poker Face. Poker Face. Da 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 da. I don't know, just the kids doing something kid-like and seemingly normal, and to remind the audience that they're still kids at the end of the day. And I also like that they bring that back, so when Stan joins the show and actually takes command at one point and is really taking down these Japanese whaling ships, and there's a montage of all these magazines and stuff saying the shows are being successful, something actually happens. It's not boring. And throughout this montage, you hear in Cartman singing this song, Poker Face. I like that bit. Like I said, it was kind of cute to have Cartman sing that song. As much as they made fun of a montage in Team America, they did have a montage, and it worked out actually well. And the montage of all the ways they stopped the Japanese. At one point, they steer them by pulling a drape, and there's a statue of Godzilla that steers them. I thought that was pretty fun. That was pretty entertaining. I also like the idea that they're in the middle of it, and the boat from Deadliest Catch, because I do know Deadliest Catch, they come in and it's like, we're tired of you guys taking our ratings, and they're calling each other names. It would have been nice, like, they have a narrator, but, it's going to be Trey Parker or Matt Stone doing the narrating. Like, they do most of the voices. I do kind of wish they would have gotten Mike Rowe. Mike Rowe is the guy who did Dirty Jobs with Mike Rowe, but he also narrated a good chunk of Deadliest Catch. And he has such a good, unique voice. I think it would have been nice to get him, and then you could give him like any sort of crazy dialogue he could say. He seems like he'd be game for it. Plus, I'm a big fan of Mike Rowe. I love Dirty Jobs with Mike Rowe. I have all the episodes actually on a USB file because good luck trying to get all those episodes on DVD. A lot of them have never been on DVD, and the ones that have, they're really expensive. But yeah, that would have been nice. I think that would have been a nice addition. But with that said, it was crazy, it was weird, it was fun of an episode. Getting out into the high seas, it didn't seem like it got too slow or boring. Other than the repeated jab at the lead, the captain of Whale Wars, and then he gets taken out pretty much in a gory fashion. And one at least to know they get caught by the Japanese, and we realize they're doing it because they think the ones that bombed them in World War II. There was this doctored picture from like a parody magazine of a whale and a dolphin, and even the kids are like, "Where did you get this picture?" "Oh, we got it from blah blah blah." Well, actually, and then Carmen stops Stan. Because Carmen and Kenny at one point join just to be on TV, and Stan gets mad about it. But Carmen stops Stan and goes, "No, don't tell him the truth, because if they find out the truth that it was America with Hiroshima," and Stan's like, "Oh yeah, that's right, don't tell him that." So then they did another doctored photo, and it's chicken and cow. So now instead, they go after chicken and cows, and I think it's Randy that says, "Well, now they're normal like us, because we kill chicken and cows." But I don't know if they're inferring that it's okay if the Japanese are killing dolphins and whales because it's just like how we kill chicken and cows. If it's trying to infer the hypocrisy of, we can kill chickens and cows for food, but they can't do it for that. I was trying to infer that. I don't know. It was still a pretty entertaining episode. But like I said, my favorite bit was the poker face thing with Cartman. I thought that was pretty funny. So, and again, being out in the sea gave it a little bit of a different backdrop, a little bit different background, instead of being stuck in the town. And thought that was fun. The next episode, episode 12, I get the idea behind it. I think it's a valid idea. I just didn't think it was that funny. It's Harley motorcycle riders, bikers, going through town. And not only do they make a lot of noise with the bikes, but they actually make the bike noise as well. Pew, 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 as well as their bikes. And the kids keep calling them names, and I can't say the name because YouTube wouldn't like it. But FAGS is how it's spelled. And they say that if maybe 100 times. And they're saying it to the people who rise the Harleys, and they even write it up. And at one point, like, Cartman takes a dump on their bikes, and they keep calling them that, and the bikers don't like that. Ultimately, the principal and others see that they tad dead, and what are you doing? What do you have against gay people? And they're like, well, what are you talking about? Just because you're this doesn't mean you're gay. And it's about the use of these terms and giving them power, and there's a way to give them less power if you change the meaning of them. So they even at the end get to a point where they change it in the dictionary. How much power do we give to certain words? It's a valid argument. It is valid where words are just words, and we just have to, if we can find a way to depower, that's not a word, but to loosen and lessen the power of these words. I mean, you just say the same thing maybe for the N word and other words. If we find a way to use these in effect of lessening their power and lessening their bite into it, like you said, I mean, the same thing could be said for symbols. I mean, I remember the swastika wasn't always a Nazi symbol. If you look up the history of the swastika, it was a symbol that I want to say was it Buddhism? It was another type of thing where it was meant, there was another cause, there was another reason why that symbol occurred. But because the Nazis used it in their meaning, and now sadly invoked a different power of usage of that symbol, which that symbol was created not even for the purpose of what it means nowadays. So if you try to use that symbol in its original meaning, people would not know what you're talking about because it's been so forgotten and so off the beaten path. Same that if you look at some of these words, like that word FAG, when that was first used back to the day, it had nothing to do with gay people. It was used for other reasons. It was used to describe completely different things. But then people used it as a derogatory word to invoke power onto themselves, to hurt an individual or a group of individuals. So I get the idea behind, and they use it over and over again, and they don't like the Harley bikers, and it just wasn't that funny to me. Like, I didn't think the episode was that funny. I just didn't think it was that hilarious. Like, other than the message, Carmen took a dump on the bikers' bikes. The kids explain in a council, and they're getting discombobulated. Like, how hard is it? One doesn't mean the other. We're saying this about the bikers because they're douchebags. It's kind of in the circle of getting its meaning of the episode, but I can't really remember a lot of jokes that I found hilarious, or a lot of jokes I found funny. It's not really a joke, but the aside of Butters all of a sudden wanting to be a biker that kind of came out of nowhere. And I don't know if that's ever followed through. Him wanting to be a motorcycle rider, a Harley rider, a biker. Again, that kind of came out of nowhere. And I don't think that's ever flourished later on. Maybe it is, I don't know. People who know the show more can let me know, but there was another episode that used the N-word and tried to do the same thing as this, or similar, I should say, than this. So maybe they were saying, hey, we did that for the episode with the N-word, where Randy is on the Wheel of Fortune, and he thinks it's the N-word, but it's not. And so people are horrified and blah, blah, blah. But that seemed to work it in a bit better compared to this one. I did its meaning of the episode. I did get their intention. I didn't find it that entertaining of an episode. If that makes sense. I really don't know. Pretty much the bikers are run off, and I can't remember what happened at the end. I'll be honest, I can't remember what the final moments of the episode were. So, episode 11 I liked. Episode 12, not so much. But that's just me. But with that said, thanks for watching. Thanks once again, Edward, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.